And I guess another video that was suggested a bunch of time. Um, it's Hinduism explained by Cogito. You guys have given me, a lot of comments about Hinduism. I am still confused about it, if I'm to be honest. Um, so let's watch this one and see if I can be less confused.
Hinduism, the religion of over 1 billion people, is the world's oldest religion and probably the most confusing one to non-Hindus. Some say it isn't even a religion, more a way of life. Hindus themselves call it the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal tradition. So,
it is a religion
what is
from what
Hinduism?
people tell me.
Does YOLO apply to them? And who is this elephant guy? Well, let's find out.
Transparency.
Hinduism is the world's oldest active religion. It's the result of the merging of the ancient Indus Valley civilization and the nomads that came into India around 1500 BC. Some scholars say it could even go back many more thousands of years. But
They be
we won't
aliens.
delve too deep into dates, because dates in Hinduism are very, very controversial. But one thing is certain, Hinduism is old, like at least 36 Betty Whites. Hinduism has been around for so long that it and the concept of India itself are inseparable. Hindu and India even come from the same word. Sanskrit was the ancient language of the Hindus, and the Sanskrit name for the Indus River
You guys
is
told me about
Sindhu.
Sanskrit all the
Ancient
time.
Persians who sat across the Indus tended to switch their S's to H's, so Sindhu became Hindu.
Oh.
So the people living across the river became Hindus. The Persians told the Greeks, who dropped that very not Greek-like H, stuck in a very Greek-like E to the end, and boom, India.
Okay, I see.
Hinduism has a long, long history. But today we'll be focusing on just the core beliefs of Hindus because I don't have the willpower to animate a 3-hour-long video. Hindus are a diverse group. Some are strict, dedicating their lives to prayer, while others don't believe in any gods but still follow Hindu philosophy. To make things easier to understand, let's break Hinduism down into 7 core beliefs. So, here's my rap about the 7 Hindu beliefs.
Oh, the rap.
You promised you weren't gonna do the rap. Come on, you're
Please
better
no.
than this, man.
Fine, here's the regular version then. 1.
Okay.
Belief in one universal soul. Hindus believe in a universal soul known as Brahman, a formless, genderless source of all reality. Brahman is the universe and the material that makes up the universe. It's a trippy concept, but think of Brahman as an ocean and everything else as drops propelling out of that ocean. Separate for a time, but still the same thing, if that makes sense. 2.
Kind of, yeah.
Belief in an immortal individual soul. In Hinduism, souls are known as Atman. Actions of the soul while in a body have effects on that soul's next life. When you die, your soul moves to another new body. This is called transmigration. The kind of body the soul inhabits next is determined by karma.
Oh, interesting. So like, I feel like in a lot of religion where there's something about like reincarnation, it's like, if I have a shitty life and I've done bad things, people tend to say like, maybe I will have a good life in my next life. But I guess in Hinduism, if you've done bad things, well, you're guaranteed a bad life again. So like, you're stuck. Interesting.
3. Belief in karma. Karma is action, usually good or bad actions that affect society. For Hindus, karmic actions in the past affect us today, and our actions today affect our soul's future. 4. Belief.
Karma is interesting because even outside of the religion of Hinduism, I feel like in a lot of countries, people have taken the concept of karma. Like in France, people will tell you about karma too, but totally outside of religion, right? It's like, you slapped me and you just got stung by a bee. Well, that's karma. But it's kind of like used outside of the religious concept, I guess. It's interesting how it's taken. I don't know if it's in every country, but I think in a lot of other countries, yeah, we kind of use it, but just outside of the religion.
In moksha. The goal in Hindu life is to somehow get back to Brahman. If a Hindu can do this, they will be freed from the cycle of life and death. This is called moksha. You can achieve moksha
Golden
by
rule.
realizing your oneness with Brahman. How you realize this is up to you. For this reason, Hindus pray, lead me from the unreal to the real. 5. Belief in the Vedas. The Vedas are Hindu sacred books of knowledge. There are 4 Vedas. Hindus believe that all 4 were sacred books of knowledge. There are 4
Okay.
Vedas. Hindus believe that all four were divinely revealed to ancient Hindu sages. We'll take a closer look at the Vedas in a while. 6. Belief in cyclical time. For Hindus, there are no beginnings or endings. Time is a series of cycles, each cycle containing 4 ages or yugas. There's the Krita, the Treta, the Dwapara, and the Kali. Added together, the 4 yugas total about 4.32 million years. At the end of each cycle, declining human morality leads to the total destruction of reality. Hindus believe that we are in the 4th and final yug, Kali. 7. Belief in Dharma. Dharma is a difficult word to translate to English.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, the whole concept of like the universe and reality just looping again and again, right? That makes sense to me. Yeah. Late. I mean, I know that obviously I'm streaming middle of the day for you guys in India, so it's more my bad, I guess.
Proper behavior is the best that I could come up with. Dharma maintains balance in the universe. As long as everything in the universe, like animals, plants, and humans, follow their Dharma, then everything will be fine. If they break from the Dharma, though, things will be super not fine. Each being has its own Dharma. A lion's Dharma is to kill and eat antelope. A king's Dharma is to rule well. A subscriber's Dharma is to smash the like button and ring the notification bell. For humans, their specific Dharma is...
I feel like you just lost some Dharma by saying that. Yes. Every time a YouTuber begs for like, subscribe, comment, and I'd never do that, you lose some Dharma. Yeah. For you, it's early morning. That makes sense. Yeah, that's right. A video to explain better? Maybe. Is
usually based on their age and their caste. An old priest will have a very different Dharma than a young merchant, for example. So
it's like a life goal, basically? Like, you're supposed to do something, but how is it decided? Or is it you that find it? It's kind of like finding your life goal or something?
The 7 core beliefs of Hinduism. With them, you can understand the Hindu mindset. Unlike Christianity or Islam, Hinduism is a non-profit organization. There is no Jesus or Muhammad for Hindus. There is no Bible, Quran, or Torah. Instead, they have a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of different sacred texts. The 4 Vedas form the basis of the Hindu faith. So let's take a look at them. 1. The Rig Veda. The Rig Veda is a collection of songs that praise and discuss ideas like truth, reality, and the universe, along with discussions on war, weddings, and rituals. 2. The Yajur Veda. The Yajur Veda covers stuff such as sacrificial rites and rituals. 3. The Sama Veda. Sama literally means sweet song that destroys sorrow. It is mostly songs dedicated to praising gods. It's different than the rest of the Vedas because it's set to music. 4. The Atharva Veda. The Atharva Veda is my favorite one. Do you want to curse your enemies? Or charm that special someone? Maybe learn to invoke rain? Or discover herbal medicine along with tips on warfare? Like how to make poison arrows? Well, this Veda has you covered, along with a bunch of other charms and curses. It even has a curse against cursers. Avoid us, O curse, as a burning fire avoids a lake. Strike him here that curses us, as the lightning of heaven, the tree. A link to the Atharva Veda is in the description, just in case you need a spell to get a wife or another to banish pigeons from your presence. It's great.
Pigeons?
After the Vedas,
there's a spell specifically against pigeons? I mean, damn. Someone was very pissed off at pigeons.
Come the Upanishads, which are like a sequel that makes the original make much more sense. They were probably written down between 800 BC and 500 BC, during a time when some Hindus started to question the Vedas. Their ideas became the Upanishads. The Upanishads are books on philosophy, like we would expect from Plato or Aristotle. They're all about questioning, doubt, debate, and finding the answers to life's difficult questions. A theme in the Upanishads is that people are not their minds, or bodies, or egos, but their Atman. Your soul is you. Everything else is unreal and temporary. After the holy texts like the Vedas and the Upanishads are other less divine but still important texts. These include stuff like the Puranas, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The Puranas are like encyclopedias of Hindu beliefs. There are 18 well-known Puranas. The Puranas cover things from yoga, to army organization, to taxation, to the caste system, to hell, gods, and everything in between. The Bhagavad Gita, Gita for short, is one of Hinduism's most...
The Bhagavad Gita. I've definitely heard of this one, but I forget well. It's probably in something we checked out. Yeah, probably.
important texts. The Gita takes place on a battlefield where Arjuna, a great warrior, refuses to fight. Lord Krishna steps in to urge Arjuna to fight, and their discussion covers things such as dharma and how to live your best life. Arjuna eventually fought after Lord Krishna taught him the truth about dharma. As a member of the warrior caste, Arjuna's dharma was to fight against evil. The lesson of the Gita is that everyone faces difficult choices, but they must act on them according to their dharma, no matter how unpleasant.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is, thank you. That's what he references, yeah. I am become Death, the destroyer of the world, okay. That's what it is, thank you. You're right, that's probably where I know it. Indeed.
Along with all these philosophical texts, Hinduism has two action-packed epics, the Ramayana and the
Ramayana is the animated movie I've reacted some trailers recently.
Mahabharata. The Ramayana, the earlier of the two texts, tells the story of Prince Rama. In the epic, you find out about his 14-year-long
There's another
exile,
animated movie.
the abduction of his wife Sita, his battle with the evil demon Ravana, and his awesome monkey sidekick Hanuman. The second epic, the Mahabharata, is the longest poem in the world. 5 times the length of the Bible and 8 times the length of the Iliad and Odyssey combined. It rivals any soap opera you've ever seen when it comes to drama. Murder, betrayal, love, murder, and giant battles. The Mahabharata has it all. The theme running through the Ramayana and the Mahabharata is that dharma must be followed for society to function. In Hinduism, there are 4 goals a person should aim for to have a good life. The first of these is dharma, followed by artha, the pursuit
It's a Japanese
prosperity
movie?
and good reputation.
Oh,
Kama,
I'm guessing it's I do remember that, the guy Tezuka, Osamu Tezuka, was often like credited with being like the creator of manga and anime in Japan, right? He did have some manga about like Buddhism and also I think Hinduism, yeah. And I think he had one animated movie about that. If I'm not wrong, that's from him, Osamu Tezuka. I might be wrong.
pleasure both in body and in mind, and moksha, the release from the cycles of rebirth. Hindus should practice artha and kama
I paused
with dharma
by
in
accident.
order to achieve moksha. There are also 6 temptations Hindus should try and avoid. Kama, lust and materialism. This kama is different from the good kama
Wait, you should avoid lust, but what about the Kama Sutra then?
mentioned above. I know. Next is kruda, which is anger. Lobha,
Fair
which
enough.
is greed. Moha, which is unrealistic attachment to things, people, and power. Mala, which is pride. And matsarya, which is jealousy.
Simple
Following
sins,
their
yeah.
dharma and avoiding these 6 temptations, a Hindu can break the cycle of rebirth and have their soul merge back into Brahman. But even though everything comes from Brahman, who is the one real thing in Hinduism, Hindus do, after all, have thousands of gods. So let's take a look at them. First, there's Brahma, the creator. He created everything in the universe, but he is not the universe itself, because that's Brahman. They aren't the same thing. That last letter changes a lot, apparently. He has 4 heads. The heads face each of the 4 directions to represent itself, because that's Brahman.
Basically, there's no like ultimate God creator, so Brahman is like, it's a disembodied concept, and in a sense that is kind of like the equivalent of the ultimate God in Hinduism, but it's not an actual being or something, it's just a concept, like the universe and existence itself. But then if Brahma created it, he was there before it. So then, okay, I don't know. I confuse myself, I think.
They aren't the same thing. That last letter changes a lot, apparently. He has 4 heads. The heads face each of the 4 directions to represent the 4 Vedas, which he created, and the 4 yugs.
Many
He also holds a
interpretation,
book,
many
which
beliefs.
represents knowledge. Oh, and he rides a giant swan because he's just fancy. His consort is Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Vishnu, the preserver, is
Mostly not about sex, I see. I've never read it. Yeah. Obviously, the meme, I guess, outside of India is obviously, yeah, that it is all about sex, right?
the second member of the Hindu trinity. He preserves the world
Vishnu.
created by Brahma until it is eventually destroyed by Shiva. He holds a discus, which he uses to cut down anyone that tries to mess with his dharma, along with a conch, which symbolizes victory and the 5 elements. Vishnu has many, many avatars, such as Krishna or Rama, who he uses to defend dharma on earth. Oh, and he rides a giant eagle named Garuda. Vishnu has 2 consorts, the goddess Lakshmi and Bhudevi. Bhudevi is the earth goddess and Lakshmi is the goddess of good fortune and wealth.
Wish she
Next
blew.
is Shiva the Destroyer, the 3rd member of the Hindu trinity. It's his job to destroy the universe in order to prepare for its renewal at the end of each cycle of time. The most identifiable of his features is his 3rd eye, which he almost always keeps closed. If he does open it and you're in front of him, then you will have your face melted off. When not unmaking existence, Shiva enjoys long walks with his bull named Nandi.
Okay.
At the
So
end
most of the time,
the
just chilling, but one day it's time to destroy the universe. Interesting.
Kali Yuga, the 4th age of the world, Shiva will perform a dance that destroys the universe. Which is odd because people have told me that my dance moves make them wish the world would end. So me and Shiva have quite a lot in common. Parvati and Sati are Shiva's consorts. Shiva also has 2 sons, Ganesha and Murugan.
Oh, Ganesha is his son.
is worshipped as the remover of obstacles, and Murugan is the god of war. Ganesha holds a very special place in the heart of Hindus.
Yeah, you see
due to
Ganesha a
him
lot.
being the remover of obstacles. The elephant head is the most obvious clue to identifying him. He was actually born with a human head, but after Shiva cut that one off, he kind of had to make do with an elephant one.
Okay, so Shiva is not that chill most of the time. I mean, cutting people's off, people's head off is not as bad as destroying the universe. But okay,
If you're Christian or
not
Muslim,
just chilling.
you're aware that your religion has a bunch of different denominations, like Catholics or Protestants,
yeah, the branch.
Sunni and Shia. Hinduism has these too. Hindus developed
That's what I was thinking earlier. Like, there must be like a lot of branches, I guess is a good way to put it.
4 major denominations, some of which have their own subdivisions. The Vaishnavas primarily worship Vishnu, and Shaivas primarily worship Shiva and his sons.
Okay.
Smartas follow sacred texts like the Puranas, the Ramayana, and the Mahabharata, rather than the Vedas. They worship 5 gods and goddesses, Ganesha, Durga, Surya, Shiva, and a preferred avatar of Vishnu. Finally, Shaktas worship the goddess Devi. Shaktas see Devi as the ultimate and eternal reality, like a feminine Brahman. Even though there are all these variations and more, the core beliefs of Hindus remain mostly the same.
Okay.
Hindus believe that Dharma keeps the balance in the universe. If the scales between good and evil start tipping towards evil, then something needs to intervene to fix the universe's Dharma. This divine intervention is known as an avatar. The literal meaning of the word avatar is descent. Avatars are gods that descend to Earth to intervene whenever help is needed to restore Dharma. For example, when the Earth was dragged underneath the ocean, Vishnu descended to Earth as the avatar Varaha, a boar, and dragged the Earth back out. In other cases, Vishnu was born on Earth as a human avatar like Rama or Krishna, where he spent his avatar's life fixing Dharma. So, the caste system. If you only know one thing about Hinduism, this is probably it. People see it as an oppressive
I feel like
system
you would have heard about the gods first, right? I feel like some of the gods'
locks
name are
people in
pretty well known.
place based on their birth. And for a huge part of history, that's what it's been, unfortunately.
But I guess that makes sense though. Like, it was explaining the Dharma, was it? Which is like your life goal, maybe? Again, that's how I took it personally. But I guess maybe the caste system is like giving someone their life goal from, what their parents were. But maybe I'm wrong and you don't find your own life goal, your own Dharma. Maybe someone gives it to you. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's do a quick explanation of what the caste system is. In Hinduism, there are 4 castes or classes that you can be born into. There's the Brahmin, the priest, the Kshatriyas, the warriors, the Vaishyas, the traders, and the Shudras, the manual laborers. The main basis for the caste system can be found in the Bhagavad Gita and the Rig Veda. Krishna says in the Gita, "I have created a 4-fold system in order to distinguish among one's qualities and functions." The Rig Veda also refers to the 4 castes. It says humans were created from parts of the god Purusha, the Brahmin from his face, the Kshatriya from his arms, the Vaishya his thighs, and the Shudra his feet. This system was supposed to assign people functions based on their abilities, not their birth.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
If someone had the qualities of a Brahmin or a Vaishya, they could fill those roles. The Gita didn't restrict movement among castes, and the caste system functioned as intended for a while, until a document known as the Laws of Manu came about around the 5th century BC, popularly referred to as the Manusmriti.
Not always related to occupation.
Hard rules for Hindu life.
Okay.
2 rules presented in it contributed to the way the caste system turned out. Manu states that...
So like you could be, like your job could be, I don't know, like a metal worker, but your dharma or life goal, I don't know if that's a good way to put it, could be, I don't know, to open a private school or something, and that would be your dharma? Maybe? Does that make sense?
Brahmin were the lords of all castes, and he forbid moving among the castes. The caste you were born into was now the caste you're stuck in.
There's always someone who comes in to exploit everything.
And things will go sour pretty quickly. As time passed, Hindus began thinking in terms of upper and lower castes. Soon, cleaning toilets, tanning leather, and dealing with meat products were
also have their dharma to follow, even children have their dharma to follow.
Thought to be impure. The people doing those jobs became untouchables, the lowest of the low, a people without caste. And the rest is history. The modern world has brought many changes though. Now Hindus mix freely while working together in the same businesses, attending the same schools, and generally just living together. But when it comes to marriage, many Hindus still stick to their own caste. But this too is changing, and on Hindu dating websites you can actually see people list a non-preference for caste. It'll say, caste no bar.
So it's what you're pursuing right now? So like, since I'm doing YouTube, my dharma is just doing YouTube? Is that how it works? Or is that like not a good thing and, you know, that doesn't count? I don't know.
So, those are the basics of Hinduism. It isn't even close to covering everything.
I'm
video
sure.
Simply can't do it. Hinduism is too diverse, too deep, and means too many different things to different people. But learning even the basics of this fascinating and ancient religion
difficult to translate.
gives us an insight into the worldview of over 1 billion people. And I hope you enjoyed it. You can find all the sources used in the description below. If you would like to follow your correct dharma, then please subscribe. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there are links to my t-shirt store and Patreon also in the description. Thank you so much for watching.
I hope someone's dharma is not just subscribing to YouTube channels. I mean, there has to be more they can do. Damn. But yeah, very interesting. I mean, I know you guys have tried to explain to me through comments a lot, you know, Bharatiya yourself, right? About Hinduism, but this definitely, you know, was a clear way to look at it, like a more, you know, a video way to be educated, you know, with some visualization and all that. So that makes sense, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm still like tying some of the stuff that I read from you guys to this video, but I've got a better idea now. I feel less confused. But yeah, I definitely understand more than before. That's what I can say. I was still confused. Like, for example, like not long ago, you know, I was reacting to the animated movie trailer, Ramayana, and I was talking about a Japanese game called Asura's Wrath, which I used to really like. But it's basically a game about like, you know, like a guy whose daughter is killed, I believe. It's called Asura, right? And he's one of the gods, you know, with a lot of arms. And basically it's kind of like God of War, but with Hindu deities. So he goes on to kill all the deities and all that. And I always thought it was a cool game. And I still kind of think that, right? But some people in the comments were telling me that, it's actually super offensive. And I was confused because I thought from what people had told me that, in Hinduism, you don't actually like worship deity in that way. Like they can be looked at different way. And, I assumed that in media it would be the same. Like, depending on what media it's probably okay to portray them in different way. But at least from what one guy was telling me, it wasn't. And maybe, again, it's just that one guy is like, what's the word for it? Branches of Hinduism where it's not okay. Maybe in some other one it's okay to portray the gods in whatever way you find interesting. I don't know. But yeah, again, I'm definitely like adjusting the way I'm thinking about all this, or like what I've thought I understood. It's interesting. It's interesting. But I guess like most religion is kind of like I probably most of the time I feel like I should avoid talking too much about it as someone who's not religious, because I'm definitely going to say something that's gonna piss someone off, right? It's probably kind of hard for me as someone who's not religious to talk about it at time, without saying something offensive to someone, right? But at least now I've got a better understanding of it, which is a good thing, obviously. I genuinely didn't really know anything about it before.